Hey, welcome back. Thought I'd go ahead and tell you what's been going on this week. I told you I wasn't going to do much body work as far as videoing it, and I'm not. I'm going to show you my progress, but I'm not going to stay here and sand for God knows how long. It's been really cold, and yes, I'm cold. I'll be turning my heater back on as soon as I'm done shooting this video. So what I've done so far, you see me go ahead and sand the roof. The roof is sanded to 220. The other side, the quarter panel, the rocker and all that are finished. I got that done. I'll take you over there in a little bit and show you that. And I put it in primer. This side I'm working on, and I'm having a really, really difficult time right here. This is fine. This is all fine. This does not feel right to me, so I got to keep working at it, and working at it, and working at it. But all my other repairs are done. You know, I basically got this to go, and then I can put some primer on this, and I need to clean the window jamb or channels up here, get that rubber out of there, so I can paint that. I might do my sanding a little different than some people. I don't know. Some of you may do it the way I do it. Don't know. But usually when I put down body filler, I'll take 80 grit and kind of knock the roughness down and give it a little shape. And that's it. I won't go anywhere beyond that. And then I'll grab 180. And at 180, I'll go ahead and really get the shape going and get it smoother and hopefully straightened out. And then when I hit 180 on all my stuff, I'll come back and prime it. And I use a high build primer. So I'll put that primer on there. And after the primer is set up and done, I'll come back with 220 and I'll hit that primer and take out most of the imperfections. But it's still going to have deep scratches from the 180. So you're not going to get all those out of there. But yeah, after I'll sand all this to 220, just like the roof is right now. And I'll come back and put high build primer on it again. And I know some of you are going, dang, you're really doing a lot of extra steps, probably. But once I get the high build primer laid back down, then I'll come back and sand all this again with 320. By the time I get to 320, all those scratches should be gone. The only scratches you'll see are from the 320. You won't see the heavy scratches. And I'll get this all done again in 320. And yes, I'll come back again and hit it with high build primer again, because you're going to go through spots, you're going to be thin, trying to work all the other scratches and stuff out. And once I get that primer on there, after that 320, I will come back and hit it with 400. And at 400 is my last step before paint. 400 is where I like to be. For a base coat clear, I think 400 is fine. I have heard of people actually painting their car with a single stage after 180. Man, I can't imagine that, but they say the single stage is thicker, fills in. When you sand, you don't see it, but wow, that's pretty coarse for me. I would rather get much finer. So I get it down to 400, do my base coat clear. But I'm way, way, way away from that step. So that's not going to happen for a while. But I'm still working out these imperfections down here. And I'll keep working at it. I mean, I can feel some highs and lows. I can see some shiny spots. Shiny spots are high spots. So I may have to come back in, put a little fill, work this a little more, or I may have to take these high spots and tap them down with a body hammer, get them a little lower, and then fill over the top of that. But that's where I am on this side. As you can see, it's basically there. I'll get that bottom taken care of and hopefully get this in primer I would really like to do it later today, but have to wait and see how that cooperates with me down there. I'm not going to shoot primer over something that's wavy or doesn't feel right to me. Let me take you over to the other side. Okay, you can see on this side, it's all body work's been done. I'm real happy with it. It's looking really good. It feels good. All I got to do is finish sanding some of the areas here down to 180. Well, it's already at 180 to 220 because I've already put the primer on there. So now I'll go to 220 on this side. Get this taken care of. The rockers are done. Around the window channel is done. Fillers are done. The door jambs, they're done. It's looking really good. I'm really happy with the rockers and everything. So, like I say, I just got to sand this down to 320. Get everything smoothed out a little bit more, and we'll put some more primer on this. But I have to do the other side first and get that lower area, which I can't figure out right now. I keep talking about this bed liner, and I keep putting it off because it's kind of cold. But I'm kind of happy I did, because in shooting this primer, it's getting on the frame, it's getting on the wheel wells inside. So wherever it was going to be black, it was going to have primer shot over it, and it would kind of look silly. And I really don't want that look. So I'm going to get this body all the way down to 400 and primed and everything, and basically ready for paint. And then I'll go ahead and shoot the bed liner, get all that on there. It'll make it a little easier to mask off when I actually paint the car, and the gold won't get on the underneath bed liner and in the wheel wells and stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Once I get this taken care of, we'll go from there. I did have a question for some of you Mustang people out there. This is sunlit gold, but yet the dash is not sunlit gold. The dash is, I'm not sure, a little darker. And I know the headliner was a little darker. And so was the dash pad. The dash pad I thought was black. But the more I look at it, the more it looks like it might be like a brown or a chocolate brown. I'm not sure. But do any of you guys out there know what color the dash would have been? I could take you over there and take a look at it a little closer and see what you guys think. I don't know if you can tell, but that is not a sunlit gold. It's different. It's not brown. And if you go back to when I was deconstructing it, taking it apart, the carpet was just different. I actually thought the carpet looked green, but wow. It had a ticket on it or a tag on it that said golden nugget, but I don't know if that was the actual color of that carpet, because it sure didn't look like any kind of gold I had seen. But yeah, okay, onward. Okay, I got this all figured out. It's really feeling really good now. Took me a while, but it's done. I already showed you the other side. It was in primer. So now I'm going to do the roof and the rest of the car in primer. That's my plan. It took me a while to do all the little odds and ends. I found other things. The roof, it actually had a dent in it, and I didn't realize it until I was working on it. When I was wiping it all down with wax and grease remover so I could go ahead and primer this, I found this spot. So I had to knock it out because I was able to get behind it. So I pushed it out, and then I went ahead and filled the low spot. It's getting a vinyl roof, so it's not real important, but yet I don't know if those vinyl roofs come padded or non-padded. So if it's going to be non-padded, you'll probably notice that. So I thought I'd just play it safe. I will put primer on this roof, but it's probably not going to be like the rest of the body where it's all going to go down to 400. The roof will probably stay at 220. I'll put that primer on there, sand it again to 220 because, you know, it doesn't need to paint and it's probably not going to get any paint on it. If I do paint it, it'll probably just be around the edges because you're going to glue that vinyl top on there. So I'm not too worried about it. I have all my rockers done, everything. So I'm going to go grab some primer. This is what I use before I go ahead and put my primer on, or my paint, either one. I use it all the time, just to show you what I use. Okay, here's what I use. It's a high build acrylic primer surfacer. I buy it in gallons. I use a lot of it. But this is pretty full, and getting the contents out of it without spilling a bunch and wasting a bunch, that's where this comes in. This is like $4. It'll snap on top of the can, and then it will flip open, and you can pour it out. You can leave the thing on, leave it sealed or not, up to you. This is mixed, basically 4 parts primer to 4 1/4 parts reducer. And I've always winged it, you know. I've always done 50-50, you know, 1 part this, 1 part that. A little bit thicker, you know, if it's too thick, I can always add a little more reducer, but that's what I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this can up to about there, and then put reducer into it up about to there, and I'll keep this on my shelf mixed, and I'll leave this the way it is and go put it back in a heated room because I don't want it to freeze out here in the middle of the night in this cold building. But I'm going to get this going, get this mixed up, and we'll shoot some primer. And I had to put this on a paint shaker, which wasn't really necessary, but you can see how thick this is. It's pretty thick, isn't it? So let me get this going here. Try not to make a big ass mess. Yes, it fits tight. Make sure it's on there good. Flip up the spout. And like I say, I'm going to pour it up to about there. Here we go. See, we don't waste any. Go ahead and let this all drain back off the lid into the can. It's all shut up. And on this, like I say, there's about a 50-50. If I want to go a little bit more, I can, but I won't. I'll just go to there for now. go. Okay, and we'll just mix this up. There we go. Pretty good. And we'll get the next step going. Okay. I'm sure you've seen my primer gun before. You know, it's just a Harbor Freight purple gun. The famous purple gun, of course. Cheap, does a great job. This one is my primer gun. And if you try to use a paint gun for this thick primer, you're not going to be happy. You have to drill out the tip of this right here at the very front where the needle comes in and closes. You need to drill that hole bigger right there. That's what I did. I came in and I drilled that hole 5/64, and that really helps the flow of this gun to push that heavy primer out. I think I've mentioned that several times, but just in case I haven't. I keep cleaning this gun, and it's been used so many times, it's probably about time to replace it. And I have plenty of replacements up there. I think I got 4 more. When they're on sale, I buy them. I buy these disposable cups with lids, so I don't have to worry about cleaning this every time I use it. And it just screws on there, just like that. And what I'll do is I'll put my primer in the gun. I'll set my pressure, and we're going to lay some primer. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I just kind of clamp it in a vise to hold it. I do have a paint gun holder, but I'm not going to get it out for this quick. To me, it's a quick job. Most people use a strainer when you're doing your paint stuff. This is primer, and if I try to use a strainer, it's going to take forever to try to get through those little meshes. So we're just going to pass that up. And hopefully I won't make too big of a mess here. There we go. Put my lid on it. And let's go over to the car. Don't have to worry about runs. If you get runs, this is your primer coat. You're going to wet sand this out anyway, so you can sand your runs out. But you can see what I was talking about when I all this overspray. So I'm glad I did it this way and didn't deadline it. But I'll let this dry a little bit. And you can see it's already dry. Nothing. It dries pretty quickly. So that's it for now. You can start seeing the dust or haze in the air. So I'm going to vacate. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It's either over there or it's over here. I think it's over there. You just hit that subscribe button down there. Like it and share it. It really helps me to continue to grow this channel and keep doing what I do. And I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Later.